Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Plan B Success. Who we have with us today is Sasha Shriber, all the way from Zurich, Switzerland. She's what you call a serial entrepreneur who's actually run about 4 companies. I believe this is her 4th one, Nanos.AI, which we're going to find out about from her shortly. It's a machine learning startup where she turns placing online advertisements into simple, automated, and transparent actions. That's what she calls it. And then she's also a former Walt Disney Imagineer cast member, and she's actually worked with Disney Research, started an innovations group there around computer graphics, machine learning, all of that stuff that we're going to hear from her directly. So welcome, Sasha.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. So tell us, in your own words, a little bit about yourself.
Well, I myself, I call myself entrepreneur, and I would say throughout the experience, my professional life experience, I went through, being an entrepreneur, also work in the film industry, work in a large research corporation and research environment, and now eventually making my way back to entrepreneurship and really enjoying it and running a successful company, technical startup based in Europe and Switzerland.
So what is your background? From an academic standpoint, have you always been interested in computers?
Yes, I was more interested in math and physics per se from the beginning in my early days of professional career. So I was really, really into mathematics, and that was my passion. Eventually, when I decided that I will be running a company, my first company, I also, at the same time, I was very young, and I have to say it happened by coincidence that I started a company. I started a company together with my partner and boyfriend at that time, and we built this company from 0 to 100 without pretty much any experience, any professional advice, and we successfully sold it and then created a couple of other companies. So also successful, not so successful, I can talk about it later. But overall, I would say my technical background always helped me to stay logical in most stressful situation. When always happen when you run a startup, is unpredictability is one of the streams that constantly running in the background when you decide to create your own business. I also, through the course of my career, I went back to studies and I studied economics and financial management, and also entrepreneurial law, because I felt it was really useful for what I was doing. However, I have to say, once you acquire the skill and you can train that skill, how to acquire knowledge, it's very easy to study something because, nowadays, in particular nowadays in this new COVID and post-COVID pandemic environment, when you can easily acquire knowledge online, because most of the universities are moving towards online and virtual education as a model. It is being at school, what really helps you a lot to learn is the way and efficiency of acquiring knowledge. Of course, it gives you also, you can argue it also gives you contacts for your future career and makes your, maybe enhances your life with other additional elements. But in general, I would say my school years, what really mattered to me was that I acquired and honed it to perfection the skill of acquiring knowledge really, really fast. So if I want to learn something new, for me, it doesn't take too much time to learn it.
So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So now we are in a time where, like you mentioned, online education is the growing norm. But then at the same time, with the current generation, when I say the current generation, I mean the people in their 20s and such, they're talking about the need to go to college, right? So there's a lot of discussion around why do we need a college degree at all? And you mentioned it where you said you went back to college in order to gain some more knowledge around economics and such and law. And
I actually went for Ph.D. in law, exactly, yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. I actually went back to college during my time. I have a couple of master's degrees. I have an MBA and a master's in personal management that I took way back in mid-90s. And then 2000, I went back to college again in order to get an MBA again, but this time in information systems, because I thought there was a need for that, because I was from one of those generations in India, where I graduated before the big wave of information technology hit. So it was very important for me to get a degree related to information technology if I wanted to have a career going forward. So that was the way I thought about it at that point in time. And, coming from the background in India, very competitive environment, college education was a must. Well, things have changed, right? 20 plus years now, people are questioning the validity of a college degree. What do you think? What's your stance on that?
I have to admit, I'm coming from a very traditional academia family. So both of my parents are professors. My dad was teaching philosophy in university and my mom economics. And it was almost expected from me also, to get a degree and, become eventually a teacher and also teaching in university. I did not choose that path for a reason because I felt, I don't want to teach people. I want to, explore myself, what life is all about. And I was more in this exploitational mode rather than, teaching and passing over the knowledge from what I learned during my university years. So I would say, if you have asked me this question 5 months ago, the answer probably would be different. But now, given the light of, the new circumstances the world is moving on and towards to, it's really, COVID pandemic taught us a lot of lessons. And one of the main lessons is in democratizing the knowledge and, democratizing it in a way, making it really accessible to everybody. Because before, if you had to be physically present, you had to move to another city in order to pursue a new career, find a better job, or start your studies, you had to move to maybe a bigger city or maybe even in different countries. Many of your listeners, I'm sure, did this in the past multiple times, maybe not just one country, but multiple countries over the course of their professional careers. Same for me. I studied in different countries, around projects and companies in different countries. And, nowadays, I'm used to traveling and I would be on a plane almost every week. Nowadays, I'm technically stuck at home, but I'm even enjoying it because I traveled so much now. Actually, I'm grounded, but I have really time to pursue things and learn things I always wanted to learn, but never had the time for. So, and I can imagine somebody who is just about to start a professional career and decides what they really want to do in their life. They have to really, really ask themselves a very honestly question, what kind of hard skills they can acquire that they feel really passionate about. And because hard skills, for instance, I don't know, languages or math or computer graphics. These are hard skills. This is something that, over time, artificial intelligence will not take over so easily. Also, you have to think of, how good are your soft skills are, because in this new era of a predominant virtual communication, these soft skills of rules of business conduct, online business conduct become more and more important. It is how you write emails, how you participate in online meetings, and so on. So I would say the way you acquire the knowledge and the efficiency of you acquiring the knowledge is if it is something that was usually introduced by a school and schooling system imposed onto a student, and usually successful, because usually after coming out of college you have this idea, okay, how you can learn new things fast. Nowadays, students or upcoming students, future students, they need to do it by themselves using only virtual online communication tools. And this, I think, would pose a challenge, but also an opportunity for some, and of course a challenge for the others.
So let's go back to your very first venture. So talk to us. You were probably, just starting out of school, the very first venture that you're starting. How did you kind of get into it? What were some of your learnings from it, and what was it all about?
So actually, into my first business I got by coincidence, more than it was not really something that I affirmatively decided for myself. Okay, now let's start a new business. So my partner, my boyfriend at the time, he was always very goal oriented, and he always wanted to become a millionaire and, earn a lot of money. So he was really much more than me, actually, to be completely honest. And I was a little bit influenced by him because I thought, we are still also very young, we should maybe finish our studies and then think of something and think of building a company. Also, the risk that is connected to, the risk you have to take and responsibility you have to take. First of all, you need to do some fundraising, at least some minimal fundraising, think of how you could bootstrap your company, bootstrap your idea, and also build a team around it of semi-minded people who also are driven by this same idea, have same goals. Because if that's not the case, then obviously your company will going through difficult times if not everybody's on board, not everybody's on the same page with the idea that you had in mind originally. So the company was in retail, and it was something that was fairly new and back in the days. And I have to say we were rather very fast and really unexpectedly successful, maybe because we found the niche in the industry and also the clients. And we quickly went from B2C, pure B2C retailer into having lots of, I think from within 6 months, we went from 0 to 50 B2B clients also. So other companies were interested in what we were doing because we were doing it in a normal way. And this also taught me a lot about the importance of the team. I would say this was one of the first lessons when you start your own business is how you build your ecosystem. So if you think like I was naive back in the days, I can do everything myself, or maybe I can hire some people and they would help me to organize things. But it's the learning curve how you can efficiently delegate. That learning curve was very steep because back in the days I was, in my early 20s, I was 21, and most of the people we would hire, there was at some point we had about 100 employees. They were all at least twice our age, my age, and beyond, right? So some of them were even looking to retirement years already. So it was quite challenging also, to have their respect when somebody comes to them who is twice, 2 times younger and, tells them what to do. And this has to be mutual respect and recognition. And we didn't have previous professional experience in doing what we were doing. And we were just really intuitively trying to find a way in the niche and the market, carefully watching the market response and quickly being super agile and iterative when something didn't work. And, also making sure that, we have enough money to support new ideas in the ecosystem, always experimenting with new concepts. This was, I would say, probably a few main learnings. So building the ecosystem, building the same-minded team, and also, being able to see opportunities when everybody else sees just challenges.
And then at what point did you work with Disney, and how did that come about?
Disney?
Mm-hmm.
How
did that come about?
Yeah, so this was back in the years 2012, 2013. So I was running a production company out of Vancouver, Canada, production company. And one of our clients was Disney Research Lab in Zurich. So back in the days, it was not small. I believe maybe it was about 40, 45 employees back in the days. It grew later in the years. And one of the gigs we had was, in fact, was the research lab. Where we had to build a demo for one of the technologies that didn't exist yet. So it was quite challenging because the scope of work was very vague. So we had to build a demo about some new upcoming technology. We knew the name of the technology, but we couldn't really find any information about it online. So Google didn't know what this technology is all about because it's completely new, yet to be developed. And over time, I got intrinsically interested in more and more in this technology. It was in a high frame rate variation, the computational shutters. It also resulted some intellectual property, some patents were filed. The first project with Disney, and then eventually it led into my employment, and eventually also me running the first innovation group within the Disney Research Laboratory, where I just had one intern, myself and another intern. So it was a team of 2, where we were looking for a research question. So something that people would be in need, some niche, some question, for instance, what would be the future of YouTube? Is it really so that people will continue consume short and other short form videos in the future and leaving linear comments underneath, or would it be some other platform evolving over time in 5 years from now? And mind you, that was years 2014-15. So by posing the question, we would try to answer the question with certain assumption and then build a prototype around this assumption while utilizing technologies, existing technologies, and thinking what new technologies needed to be developed in order to build this prototype. And then based on what we build, then we would test it with the user studies, physical or online, depending on the technology that was developed. And then later, if results successful, build a demo and pass it over to the product teams at the Walt Disney Company. So this was my corporate career, which was extremely interesting, extremely insightful. On one side, you had this huge, enormous insight into how the largest entertainment company in the world functions, and on the other side, first-hand information, being witnessing the first trends as one of the first witnesses when technology is just being developed in one of the major and most important research communities in the world. I mean, ETH, Federal Institute of Technology, is one of the top tech universities in the world. And in some of my projects, we were working with up to 40 different researchers from different universities, Yale, Harvard, and ETH included. So that was extremely interesting times.
Disney Imagineer cast member, was this the role, or did you do anything else besides this with Disney? I'm just wondering because, when you say cast member, in my mind, it is, people that are doing all the fun stuff.
Mouse. Exactly, yeah. No. Just because we were part of the parks and resorts as a research lab, so we were called Disney Imagineering cast member. But in fact, it had nothing to do. We didn't have to go to the park and perform there anymore. We were still in the lab working on prototypes.
Awesome. Yeah. And then let's talk a little bit about your other companies. The two other companies that you mentioned. What were they about, and what was their journey?
Well, one of the very successful companies which was also sold was in the telecom industry, and then another one was the post-production and visual effects company, which I already mentioned, which eventually led to my employment at the Walt Disney Company. And these companies were all before Nanos. Nanos is now my fourth company, which is machine learning technology we're developing with 10 other same-minded people team to make online marketing accessible to anybody. So anybody without marketing knowledge, without design background, or big budgets or time invested could very quickly have online visibility. So we launched our product roughly 6 to 8 months ago. This is a tool where anybody without, much time or much marketing knowledge can very quickly go to and answer a few questions about their business or their product, then decide on the budget they're prepared to spend, and then we would automatically create ads based on information of their website. So we would automatically derive all the meaningful keywords and interest also for targeting of these ads. And then we would place those ads on different platforms, for instance, Google, Facebook, and Instagram. And then over the course of time of ad campaign, we see what platforms work better for you, also what targeting keywords work better for your interest. And then we would optimize these keywords and interest and budgets as well. For instance, we see today Facebook really sucks for you. We would optimize, tweak the interest, or reshuffle the whole budget onto Google. And we keep ourselves fairly independent because we felt, we are meta platform on top of other platforms. We're also adding more platforms, for instance, in LinkedIn and Twitter down the road. So we'll have more platforms where our users could place advertisements on. But we are not paid by any of the platforms, so we make our decision based on the previous data of the campaign, what performs better for your business, and then we make an informed decision, and we would redirect the budgets of our clients towards the platform that is performing the best.
So what kind of clientele are you seeing on this? Is it mostly solopreneurs or large companies? What kind of companies are you working with?
Our original idea was to create a product for non-expert, naive users, if you will, somebody who don't know much about marketing and what to do, and maybe don't have online presence at all, maybe don't even have a website. So we built quickly, automatically, mini website for them as well. At the beginning, when Nanos was just launched, more than 50% of our clients didn't have a website, didn't have a Facebook business page to advertise on. So we are providing a solution that would help them easily to quickly and easily build online presence and be online within 10 minutes. But now more and more, we also have requests from agencies, marketing agencies, believe it or not, who also use Nanos maybe internally to also expand their clientele, their client databases, so they can help more clients, because nowadays marketing agencies, if they have clients with smaller budgets, they still have to pay the same amount of salaries and still need resources to hire human marketers or designers to create ads and place those ads and then continuously optimize those ads. And this is why they use Nanos for. So if they use Nanos internally, client comes to them, they just collect information from the client, use Nanos in order to create and place ads and optimize them, and then provide clients with reports. We're welcoming very much such clients, such marketing agencies from our side, because of course we would love to focus rather on technology. This is what we do best, and we're also just 10 people currently, so we would like to focus on technology. And we also, marketing agencies, they would just simply take over also the customer care and interaction with the clients, so we don't have to do it.
So what about, one of the things that like Facebook marketing that you mentioned, it allows you to do your A/B testing and that kind of stuff. Is that something that you guys also manage through your software?
Yes, some parts of it already in place. Some parts are still technology in the making. So particularly for Facebook. But what we do already now is, for instance, we work very heavily on ad creative, and this is our unique value proposition. This doesn't exist anywhere in the world. If we have information, if we have a client's website and we can derive meaningful and visually appealing ads based on information of the website. And we obviously can create multiple templates, multiple ads, differently looking visual ads based on information of the website. And this is technologies that doesn't exist yet in the world. We just recently finalized the research on this topic, and we conducted a user study with participants who were put in front of two different set of ads. What they did not know, one ad of these two was created by machine, and another one was created by a human marketer. And overall, our user study participants they had to go through a set of, I believe, 5 different ads. And so they had a website and then 2 ads that were created on that website. And believe it or not, more than 80% of all user study participants choose ad which was created by machine. So first we were really, I was floored. I was baffled. It was just, because we didn't expect these results coming out too soon, that actually machine can take over the creative part of the ad creation. This is something new because, A/B testing, optimization, other targeting features, we can easily imagine that could be automated based on previous ad campaign data information. But something that that the machine can take over also some of the creative tasks, not everything, of course, but, some of the textual ad creative was, of course, really mind-boggling, and this is something that we're going to introduce in our product within the next several weeks.
Now, one of the major aspects of writing ad copy, basically the copywriting, right? That's where most of the
exactly.
is there, and that's where a lot of people train and retrain themselves in terms of writing good sales copy. The creative aspect of it, how are you replicating that within your particular software?
So just going back to this user study, so it explains a little bit more. When we asked our participants 3 questions. So first of all, is this ad grammatically correct? Then is this ad is this ad truthful to the information provided on the website? And do you like this ad? Of course, the last question was a little bit, I maybe like this ad, and Rajiv maybe don't like it, So it's not really something that we could hold on to. But the fact that ads were grammatically correct, and the fact that they were truthful to the content provided on a website already means a lot. So based on previous data sets, our system was able to create meaningful and visually appealing, visually and grammatically correct ads, which could appear that they were written by human.
And then are you providing, based on the ads being used and the dollars being spent, are you providing any information on returns for the users in terms of how many ads are really selling, how many people are going to a transaction based on an ad, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, for advanced users, yes, we do. It's still not in the core product. So in the core product, you place an ad, and we would automatically optimize this ad for you. Of course, we cannot for sure tell you how many clients will come to your online store based on your ads. I mean, we can predict certain numbers, and users would usually see it on their dashboards, how many people supposed to click on the ad, and how many impressions, how many people will see the ad, and then eventually how our algorithms optimizing the ad over the course of ad campaign cycle. But of course, we cannot tell for sure that with this amount spent, that so many clients will knock on your doors or visit your online store. Mind you, we work a lot with small budgets campaigns. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, campaigns coming from Latin America, from Brazil, from Mexico, average size campaign easily could be $12-15. So, of course, we always recommend our clients in all our materials and videos and tutorials that if they have very limited budget, they should really start advertising with just one platform, not try to spread their budget, small budget, too thin over the course of over many platforms, but rather have more consistently over the longer time period, but just one platform. So this is what we do. And then machine learning kicks in as a second day. So we already know. So first day we just watch, we observe. Maybe in cases multiple platforms, we just distribute the budget equally. And then starting from the second day, cross-platform optimization would start. And then on a day 6, it will be in full force. So then if campaign runs at least 6-7 days, then we can reassure that the budget is being optimized in the most effective way to make sure that there is the best return on the investment.
So the target markets that the ad is being offered up to and all that, is it all done by the software too?
Exactly, yeah. We aim at almost full automation. Of course, full automation is not possible because when you work, in particular when you work with small budget campaigns, sometimes image that arrives into our system from a user is not corresponding to the restrictions and guidelines of Facebook. That happens more often than not, unfortunately. Particularly nowadays, lots of entrepreneurs choose to, opportunistically choose to advertise, for instance, products related to COVID, and this is something that is not easily done through Facebook or Google. So there's a lot of rejections we currently receive for such campaigns. So of course, we would then have to interfere and check manually campaign why could possibly have been rejected, and then relay this information to the user. It's something that Facebook, for instance, doesn't do, so we do this manually. If you go directly to Facebook and your campaign is being rejected, they would not explain you why. But now since we know we have had a previous experience of potential scenarios where campaigns images could be rejected, then of course we also help our users to make sure that their next campaign will not be rejected.
And what's your business model? How do you make money?
Business model is extremely simple, is transactional. So Nanos takes 17%, from overall ad campaign budget. So if you go to marketing agency, usually they would charge you more, or at least would be other hidden fees, for instance, for design of the ads or other materials or website. In our case, for everything, if you need website, it's also included. It will be created automatically. Ad creation, placement, continuous optimization. In the future, we also will be adding SEO feature, automatic SEO for landing pages, and unlimited number of landing pages is already existing in our product. We take this 17% cut. from overall ad campaign budget. For instance, if somebody is placing a campaign for $100, then we take $17 as Nanos fee for services, and there would be also additional 3% to pay to the payment providers, credit card or PayPal.
So do you envision this kind of going into some kind of a subscription model at some point?
For agencies, for sure, yeah. We're building also white label solution and APIs, which will involve subscription model for a lot of clients.
So is this all bootstrapped at this point, or have you found funding?
No, we are funded by European investment funds, so we are not bootstrapped, but we're making a lot of progress. We're growing really fast and really rapidly.
For people that are interested in this, I'm sure a lot of solopreneurs would be interested in something like this because I believe there's a creative aspect of things that you do, and then there's technical aspect. Some people are strong on the creative side, some on the technical side, and somebody could use a technology like this if it really helps them out. So where do people find you, and how do they reach you?
Well, if you just Google Nanos marketing or Sasha Shriber, I'm sure you'll find your way to our website, Nanos.AI. We're also very active on social media. We put a lot of time into our educational videos. We have a YouTube channel. Also, you can find me on YouTube, Sasha Shriber channel. And I'm also very active on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page for Nanos customers. So pretty much each and every channel, even on TikTok now. So you can find us everywhere. Nanos.AI.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Sasha. It's been a pleasure learning about your company. Very interesting and unique technology, and hope you guys get all the success that you deserve. Before you leave, one takeaway that you would like to leave with our listeners.
I would say if you're about to considering starting a new company, maybe you lost your job, nowadays in the current conditions where the world is going to, there's so many layoffs that are happening currently, and companies shutting down physical stores and moving businesses online. There's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of things that are changing, which are actually out of our control. And I feel lots of people, from what I see when I interact with my friends and colleagues, and also on the social media, from what I see, there's a lot of stress, accumulated over the past couple of months, and it's sometimes difficult to cope with the stress. I would say turning challenges into opportunities and making your way, finding a way how to see these opportunities in the most difficult challenges. Because sometimes, even my day, like today and yesterday, there were some things were happening which I had absolutely no control of, and of course I could be easily stressed because I just don't know what will happen next. Concerned about the decisions to take to make the best out of the situation. But sometimes what's really important is just to have, to take a deep breath and just to wait until tomorrow. Really, really, it helped me so many times, more often than not. I have to say, just, tomorrow is another day. You really, really can just, stay put. Just, close your emails, and, go for a walk and do some gym, and just really see what the next day brings. In early morning, you wake up, you check your emails, you make phone calls, and maybe there would be another important piece of information arriving to you, and that would help you to make the really proper informed decision and to turn this challenge, which currently looks a super stressful and unavoidable thing, to turn this into opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. We wish you the very best with Nanos.AI, and we look forward to seeing you climb the ladder. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
I hope you liked that episode and are enjoying all the episodes in Plan B Success podcast. I'd encourage you to go subscribe on your favorite platform, whether it's any listening platform or YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you subscribe so that you enjoy this content and extract from it what serves you best, what benefits you in your own life, personal, professional, business, whatever it might be. PlanB.live is the website where you can go in order to find any episode that you would like to listen to. 3 times a week, we release episodes, the first being an inspiring interview with someone who's done it, been there, done that, and can inspire you to go after what you want to achieve. Every Monday, that's the episode that gets released. And then, on Wednesdays and Fridays, we pick a topic and we talk about it in order to benefit you in your personal and professional life. At the same time, if you're someone who's interested in learning more about these concepts, if you're someone who's interested in podcasting as well, go check out planbsuccessschool.thinkific.com. That's where all the online courses are. You can learn and benefit from them there as well. There's a bunch of free courses. There's a bunch of paid courses. Start with the free ones. Get to learn what you aspire to learn. And if you want to delve deeper, then you can sign up for the other ones. Thank you very much.